Saurabh, in the middle of all of this very tense proceedings in the Supreme Court, it appears that the Shiv Sena government in Maharashtra were making a couple of important decisions. They've decided to change the name of Aurangabad among other places. What exactly have they decided?
Well, I mean, these are long-standing demands of the Shiv Sena and something that, the Eknath Shinde camp has been trying to say. What have they said? That the Shiv Sena of today is not following the ideals of Balasaheb Thackeray. That's the basis of their entire rebellion. What is the Chief Minister trying to do? Send a message that he is doing exactly what Balasaheb Thackeray set out to do. And these were long pending demands. For example, Aurangabad to be called Sambhajinagar, Osmanabad to be called Dharashiv. Then of course you had that demand from the project effect.
The upcoming Navi Mumbai airport as the DB Patil airport. So that is of course something that's also happening. So we will obviously see these decisions being announced officially, but that we have been told is that the cabinet has approved these decisions. Aurangabad will now be called Sambhajinagar, a long pending demand of the Shiv Sena being given the official stamp at a cabinet meeting right here. And we were discussing the political significance of this.
Earlier in the day. I won't go into those details right now because at this time the focus clearly is on what's happening in court. But to blunt the attacks of the Eknath Shinde-led rebel camp of the Shiv Sena, these are decisions that are long pending decisions of the Shiv Sena, something that the Shiv Sena has demanded for years. And it's being cleared under the cabinet led by a Thackeray, and that's the message that we're trying to say. In fact, we're still seeing ministers leaving that cabinet meeting as of now. That's Rajesh Tope, the health minister, who's just left, and I believe that the cabinet meeting is still, some members are still there inside, though many of the ministers have left. So the cabinet meeting has officially ended, but obviously, there is going to be a lot of, at this point, discussions on what has happened so far. And at this point, we know that these important decisions, which are very, very long pending decisions, long standing demands of the Shiv Sena, have been approved by the cabinet. And this is, of course, to ensure that the party rank and file stay together. And this will, of course, blunt Eknath Shinde's attack. This cabinet meeting is also not only to decide the strategy going forward, but also to see how to tackle this rebellion. And this is something that the Shiv Sena has said that needs to be done. So obviously, you see this being done, this cabinet meeting clearing the proposal to rename Aurangabad as Sambhajinagar. And I'll tell you a little bit about the political significance of this. The fact is that Aurangabad, the exploits and the pursuits of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj against the Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb is what Marathi pride is built around. And it's been a long standing of the demand because, this whole thing about, Aurangzeb and Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj is very, very politically relevant in Maharashtra. Even though it's a lesson from history, it still politically is significant, which is why this decision is something that, we are now going to see. In fact, I think there may even be a briefing at some point. We'll try and see, we'll get a word from some of the ministers at this point to see what is happening. I think we'll move towards the Deputy Chief Minister's chamber, which is on the 6th floor. And as this cabinet meeting has announced several important decisions as far as the whole anyway, so obviously we will try and get in a word from what has happened at the cabinet meeting today. So obviously this is not only strategizing for the future, but ensuring that what the Shiv Sena has been demanding for a long time, a long pending demand of the Shiv Sena, has been cleared at the cabinet meeting that has taken place this evening here at the Mantralaya in Mumbai. So firefighting on all fronts. Basically, it's not just Uddhav Thackeray who's staring at a crisis for his government. He's also staring at a rebellion within his party that might decimate his party completely. So obviously he's trying to ensure that he can take care of that as well. And these of course is the important developments from that cabinet meeting. But Vishnu, I can safely bet that all those cabinet ministers had their eyes on what was going on in the Supreme Court as well, because that is something that they would be watching very, very carefully to see which way the wind is blowing.